giờ bắt đầu
famous
cái chuyến đi.
Skyline Lake Tour along the beautiful and historic Chicago lakefront, where we will see the centerpiece of the city's beautiful 17-mile stretch of continuous shoreline parks, public attractions, and residential neighborhoods, including a bike path right on the waterline, along one of the most open and publicly accessible city shorelines in the world, situated here at the southwest corner of the Great Lake, Michigan. As we tour the lake shore, we'll have a view of some of America's tallest and most distinguished buildings. You will learn the historical context in which the city and the lakefront have developed, and briefly survey the ecology of Lake Michigan itself. Welcome to Chicago, the Windy City, the second city, city of big shoulders, city in a garden, city by the lake, the city that works. It's America's third largest city in terms of population, after New York and Los Angeles, with a current population of 2.7 million people in the city limits and about 9 million in the metropolitan area. We begin our tour at Navy Pier. Completed in 1916 as Municipal Pier Number 1, it was renamed Navy Pier in honor of naval veterans of World War I. It is now a popular recreational center, and along with Millennium Park, it's one of the top cultural attractions in Illinois, averaging over 9 million visitors every year. Attractions include the Children's Museum, the Chicago Shakespeare Theater, the Sable Hotel, dining, shopping, an amusement park, concert halls, convention space, bars, ballrooms, and of course, boat rides. One of the most prominent attractions at the pier is the Ferris Wheel, called the Centennial Wheel, because it opened on the 100th anniversary of Navy Pier in 2016. This is a new model, the DW60, designed and constructed by Dutch Wheels, the Netherlands-based company that built the pier's first wheel, considered the world's top designer and manufacturer of Ferris wheels. The state-of-the-art DW60 is the first and only one of its kind in the United States. Significant features include two-sided enclosed cars that allow for easy loading and unloading, a fortified structure to withstand winds of 115 miles an hour, and safety glass capable of weathering intense storms. The original Navy Pier Ferris wheel was relocated to Branson, Missouri in 2016 and is still in use there today. The very first Ferris wheel ever debuted here in Chicago in 1893 at the World's Fair, also known as the World's Columbian Exposition. Designed by a bridge builder named George Washington Ferris, it was Chicago's response to the Paris World's Fair. Mr. Ferris gave Chicago and the Eiffel Tower. During the Second World War, Navy Pier was an active naval training base where pilots were trained for aircraft carriers. Trainees included the first President Bush. After the Second World War, it became the campus of the University of Illinois at Chicago into the 1960s, when it was a working commercial pier, which later fell into disuse. The present configuration opened as a cultural attraction in 1993. It was updated once more in 2015. We are heading out on the southwest corner of the Great Lake, Michigan, one of the 5 Great Lakes and the largest body of fresh water in the continental United States. The Great Lakes comprise 20% of the world's liquid freshwater. The name Michigan is believed to come from the Ojibwa word Mishigalia, meaning great water. The lake itself was formed along with the other 4 Great Lakes by glaciers receding northward after the end of the last ice age about 10,000 years ago. The average depth of the lake is 279 feet, with a maximum depth of 923 feet. The average depth this close to shore is about 25 feet. The lake is 307 miles long from north to south and 118 miles wide at its widest point. It is just slightly smaller than the U.S. state of West Virginia or the country of Ireland. The distance from the shoreline pier straight east to the state of Michigan is about 60 miles. Lake Michigan's deepest section, which lies in its northern half, is called the Chippewa Basin, named after the prehistoric Lake Chippewa. The St. Lawrence Seaway and the Great Lakes Waterway connect the Great Lakes to ocean-going vessels. Despite their vast size, sections of the Great Lakes freeze in winter, interrupting most shipping. Icebreakers, including the United States Coast Guard vessels Morro Bay and Mackinac, break ice for an average of 120 days a year in various parts of the lakes.
Cái hồ Michigan là hồ mà lớn nhất. Đi cái tàu này nó đi khoảng 100 phút.
Water is collected and transported through an underground tunnel leading from the cribs to filtration plants. These tunnels are 200 feet beneath the lake bed and vary in shape from circular to round and in diameter from 10 to 20 feet. Lake water enters the cribs and flows through these tunnels to pumps at the world's largest purification plant just north of Navy Pier. The Jardine Water Purification Plant began functioning in 1968. Shortly thereafter, Ohio's refugees created the plant. Together with the Eugene Sewer Water Purification from Pier 78th Street on the south side, it allows Chicago's Department of Water Management to deliver 1 billion gallons of water to Chicagoland every single day. The beautiful landscaping around the Jardine Water Plant and in the adjoining Milton Lee Olive Park was designed by Dan Kiley, the same landscape architect who designed the Gateway Arch National Park in St. Louis, Missouri.
Ngồi xuống đó, anh trên thì ngồi xuống. Cái lake này nó nói 5 cái hồ này cộng lại đó bằng cái smaller lên nước New Zealand ha. Cái lake này ha, 5 cái lake là bự, 5 cái hồ này rất là nhiều bự. River là phía bên trong.
To the west is a trapezoid-shaped skyscraper of black glass and steel, which narrows as it rises with X-like cross bracing on the side. This is 875 North Michigan Avenue, although many Chicagoans continue to call it by its original name, the John Hancock Center. The crisscross bracing on the side of the building adds structural integrity and minimizes the need for large girders inside the structure. Like the Willis Tower and the Trump International Hotel and Tower, it was designed by the world-famous Chicago-based firm Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, who continue to specialize in the world's tallest buildings, including the current world's tallest, the Burj Khalifa Tower in Dubai. The John Hancock Center was completed in 1969. 875 North Michigan Avenue also includes an observatory on the 94th floor called 360 Chicago. The elevators to 360 Chicago are considered to be the fastest of the things in the Western Hemisphere, with a top speed of
cái đó là cái giống như là cái lighthouse vậy.
360 Chicago also includes Tilt, a panel of windows on the south side of the observatory, which hydraulically extend about 30 degrees out and over Chicago's famous skyline, offering visitors unique, downward-facing views from 1,000 feet in the air. The city of Chicago itself started with one trading post in 1773, which was established by Haitian Creole fur trader Jean-Baptiste Pontoussaint. Chicago initially grew along the main branch of the Chicago River. The Chicago River is the beginning of a system of rivers and canals which connect Lake Michigan to the Mississippi River, allowing vessels to continue by water all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. The river was first discovered through...
Okay, cái này là phần thứ 2 của cái tour Michigan Lake.
You're gonna drop your phone down.
Có drop được. Ok. Cái này là bạn thấy là cái
Looking out at the lake, along the breakwater wall which borders and protects the harbor is the historic Chicago Harbor Lighthouse. It was completed originally in 1893 and located near the World's Fair in Jackson Park, further south. The lighthouse was moved to its current location in 1919, situated to direct voters to the opening of the
Chụp rồi,
Chicago
chụp hình
River.
rồi.
The light is an active aid to navigation and unfortunately not open to the public. It became automated in 1979 and was designated as a Chicago landmark in 2003.
Dạ, nó không có open for tour.
Within half a generation after the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, Chicago architect and engineer William LeBaron Jennings perfected the iron frame technology that
Yeah.
was allowed for the skyscraper. The term skyscraper was first used to refer to the small sails set high atop the mast of surface ships.
Nó open, nó vô
The
ra
term
ngoài
was
lấy
later
bự luôn.
applied to iron frame buildings. To the west, the tall, curved blue glass skyscraper with the tall white spire is the Trump International Hotel and Tower, designed by native-born Chicago architect John Smith. An upscale residential tower and hotel, it stands 1,389 feet with 98 stories, and it opened in 2009. The spire atop front tower counts in the official height of the building. Spires are considered part of the building's structure, whereas antenna, like on the Willis or Sears Tower, are not considered part of the building and therefore do not count in official height. You may remember the final confrontation scene between Batman and the Joker in the 2008 film The Dark Knight. It was shot at the construction site of the then partially completed Trump Tower. Later, the tower was also one of the key locations used for the 2011 film Transformers: Dark of the Moon. From here we have a view of some of America's most majestic buildings. The tall white rectangular building with what appear to be white vertical stripes is the Aon Center. It was completed in 1973, originally for Standard Oil. It was designed by Perkins and Will. The Aon Center stands 1,136 feet and has 83 stories and is currently Chicago's fourth tallest building. Although 875 North Michigan Avenue, or the Hancock Center, technically has 100 stories, the top quarter of the Hancock Tower is comprised of residential floors. These tend to be shorter than office floors, so Aon is in fact taller than Hancock. In May 2018, the owners unveiled a $185 million proposal for an observatory atop the Aon Center. The observatory will feature a thrill ride called Sky Summit, with an external elevator system which will be the tallest and fastest in the country. It is set to open in 2022. The Willis Tower, formerly known as the Sears Tower, is the black rectangle of glass and steel with two white broadcast antennae on top due west of Grant Park. It was the tallest building in the world from its completion in 1974 until 1998. It has 110 stories and measures 1,451 feet in the air. It includes an observatory on the 103rd floor called the Sky Deck. The Sky Deck is open every day from 9:30 a.m. until 10 o'clock p.m. and features a glass protrusion on the western side called the Ledge, where visitors can step out and look straight down through their feet. The inspiration for the Ledge came from hundreds of forehead prints visitors left behind on Sky Deck windows every week. From the memorable scene in the John Hughes film Ferris Wheel's Day Off to curious children going right up to the window, visitors are constantly trying to catch a glimpse below. Now, thanks to the Ledge, they have a unique way to do so. The internal structure of the Willis Tower is actually a series of 9 columns of differing heights brought together for strength and flexibility. Each column is 75 feet square. Bundled together, they are stronger than one tall single column, much like how a bundle of sticks clutched together is harder to snap in half than a single stick. This design innovation is the template for today's tallest buildings. The tall pink octagonal building to the left or south of Willis Tower with the cylindrical top is named by its address, 311 South Wacker Drive. At 961 feet tall, it was once the tallest reinforced concrete building in the world. The top of the building is a 105-foot tall translucent cylinder surrounded by 4 other smaller cylinders. This makes it among the most visible Chicago skyscrapers at night, as its crown is brightly illuminated. At its debut in 1990, the 5 cylinders on top were lit by fluorescent tubes. These have since been replaced by LED lights, which allow the bulbs to be dimmed or changed in color for holidays and special events. For a complete detailed tour of Chicago's world-famous downtown architecture, Shoreline Sightseeing offers 75-minute Chicago River architecture tours from February through December. Visit our box office for more information or visit shorelinesightseeing.com.
No, lake này dưới biển vậy đó, người ta nói Michigan Lake á, là nó gọi là The Great Lake, nào chứ biết sao The Great Lake, tức là cái hồ mà lớn nhất nước Mỹ.
Near the center of the visible skyline in the northern corner of Grant Park is a striking tower with a distinctive diamond-shaped roof. Now called the Crane Communications Building, it was completed in 1984 and designed by A. Epstein and Sons. Upon completion, developers discovered that ice would form on the slanted roof and break off and fall onto the sidewalk below. Heating pipes had to be installed to melt the ice and prevent accidents. The building became well known for its use in the climax scene of the classic Chicago film Adventures in Babysitting. The city's 17-mile Shoreline Park system was inspired by architect Daniel Burnham's city plan of 1909, in which he pledged that the city would keep its original promise that the lakefront should remain forever open, free, and clear, so that all citizens could enjoy the beautiful lake shore without interference from industrial development. Since the 1830s, the official motto of Chicago has been Urbs in Horto, Latin for city in a garden, for its commitment to green space and parkland. Chicago has 4
Cái đó là cái Chippewa Basin Stadium đó, that's the one. Hả? Adler đó thì gần Chippewa Basin đó. Cái đó Chippewa Basin với Adler Stadium.
It is home to the Lincoln Park Zoo, one of the last 3 zoos in the United States.
That one next to Adler là Chippewa Basin Stadium.
There are 3 harbors in the downtown area. Just south of Navy Pier is DuSable Harbor, named for the first permanent non-native resident, the fur trader Jean-Baptiste Montalvo. South of DuSable is Monroe Harbor, named for the 5th President of the United States, James Monroe. South of Museum Campus is Burnham Harbor, named after the famed Chicago architect and city planner Daniel Burnham. Part of the visible shoreline is in fact landfill, which has been built out into the relatively shallow lakefront starting after the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. The burned-out remains of the downtown were dumped into the lake, creating the base for today's lakefront parks. The landfill does not consist of domestic trash, but is mostly soil, sand, and construction debris. Michigan Avenue represents the original natural shoreline of Lake Michigan.
Bye bye, tạm biệt. Đây là phần cuối cùng của cái trip. Cái tàu on the way back to Pier. Cái này là cái tour đi Michigan Lake. Bạn có thể thấy cái building đá với lại Navy Pier. Giờ nó trên đường đi vào cái pier này. Đẹp quá trời đẹp luôn, building cao chọc trời luôn. Thao và hai cái thao có 2 cái nhỏ đấy. Cái đó là cái trời đất đó, là cái building cao nhất Chicago. Còn ở phía bắc đó là cái 60 thao mà mình đi đẹp qua thấy toàn thành phố Chicago. Hoặc là Chicago City. Đó, cái này là downtown, đó, downtown chính của Chicago. Quay lại tàu đậu.
Immediately south of Navy Pier is the Chicago Harbor Walk, completed in 1938. The walk serves as the length of the Chicago River. At Bridges Hotel, originally named the State House, remains unchanged and below the Chicago It's now Chicago's third tallest skyscraper. The city is the tallest skyscraper in the world, designed by a family with architectural structure, and includes an innovative
Dạ.
Wow.
Thì xa chứ thôi.
That's not even
Dạ. Not even half late đâu. Chưa đâu, mình chưa ra khỏi cái kia mà. Dạ. Ok, cái tour tới đây là chấm dứt rồi. Các bạn có thấy đồng ý là cái video này hay không?
hay quá.
Có hay không? Có đồng ý cái video hay không? Hay quá luôn. Ê, Chê, cái video này hay không?
Yes.
You
Jane,
like
you
it?
can sit down now. Yes.
Okay, please subscribe. Okay?
I already did.
Okay, have a good day. Bye now.